Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes. See who else pops in. All you're going to need for class today is a sturdy chair. If you'd like some extra resistance, feel free to grab that as well. Some dumbbells, resistant bands, more than welcome, but not necessary. Who else we got today? Welcome, everyone. We got a new computer. Yay. Much better picture. Woohoo. Thank you. And basement is all salvaged. We are good to go. No more flooding. Nothing else was ruined besides my Intel computer. That's okay. All right, guys. We're going to give it about 30 seconds and we are going to get to it. For those of you already in, all you're going to need is a sturdy chair. I've got this old raggedy card table chair and that will do just fine. All right, let's get to it. Welcome to Sit and Fit, everyone. I'm Coach Adrienne. Today's all about lower body. So we're gonna burn out those legs, quads, hamstrings, inner and outer thighs, glutes, calves. We're gonna hit it all. As usually, we're gonna start with a quick dynamic warm-up. Like we talked about last time, mobility is just so very important. So we're actually gonna start standing today. We're gonna use the back of our chair. So go ahead and grab it. We're just going to use it for support. So our inside leg is going to be planted into the ground. Our outside leg is going to be doing the work. You can just put your outside hand on your hip or lay it down like a wet noodle, whatever feels comfortable to you. But we're flexing that working foot. We're going to do some leg swing. So we're just going forward and back here. We're going to open up that whole hip, fire up those hip flexors, fire up those glutes. Very important that we keep that neutral spine here. We're not arching or folding forward. We're keeping those abs vacuum sealed here. So just like when we did upper body, we're still going to be working our core through all these exercises. Now let's take this laterally. Swing that leg in and out. This time we're opening up those adductors and abductors. Might feel a little bit of some glute work in this movement as well. And you might actually even feel this in your supporting leg, just by holding that stability. Couple more. Now from here, we're going to go into a hip car. So we're going to take that same leg, we're going to drive our knee up and around in a circle. Bonus points if you don't touch that foot to the ground at all. And try to keep your glutes engaged. So try not to have that sassy hip here. We're lengthening our spine. All that movement is in that hip. We're just opening them all up. Couple more. Good, now plant that foot on the ground and then just pretend like you're squishing above. So you're rolling out those ankles, loosening up those calves. A little ankle mobility here. Nice work. All right, we're going to take it to the other side. Holding onto the back of your chair, lengthening your spine. Outside foot is flexed. Let's go into those hip swings. So again, trying to engage those glutes so we don't have that sassy hip. It's easy to do. Just make everything tall, lengthen, keep that core tight. Try your best not to arch that back. Taking nice deep breaths here. Now we go lateral. Inner and outer thighs. Again, just loosening up that whole hip girdle. And we're going to take this into a hip car. Drive that knee up and around. Try not to rest that foot on the ground at all. Keeping our shoulders squared, keeping our hip bones squared. Give me a couple more here. Good. Plant that toe or the ball of the foot into the floor. Squish your bum, roll out that ankle. Crackety crack crack over here. All right, let's get to the workout. First exercise, we have good old-fashioned squats. We're going to use our chair for a point of reference. I'm going to give you levels, different levels of every exercise we do today for our lower body. So a lot of people know how to do a squat, right? But a lot of people don't do correctly. If you want that extra resistance, you can grab some dumbbells, hold them by your hips, or you can wrap them around your feet for a little extra resistance. We're going to pretend like someone has a lasso around our hips and they're pulling us backwards and we're sitting in a chair. So we're sinking our butts back, keeping our spine neutral so we're not folding forward, sinking that hip back, and then driving through our heels. Making sure those knees don't go beyond our toes like this. Shift your hips back. So it's pulling us back with that lasso. If you'd like, you can actually use your chair. So practice sitting and then driving through those heels. Maybe if you have a little knee pain, just that practice of shifting your hips back is going to really help. So you pick your poison. We've got 1 minute here, squats. Here we go. You're also going to pick your tempo. So if you want to get your heart rate up just a little bit more, you're going to speed it up. But be careful not to get sloppy. Make sure you're not compromising your form. You really want to work on that form. You're concentrating on just driving through those heels, shifting those hips back nice and low. And maybe you have great range of motion today. Maybe you're nice and flexible. You can go down even lower than that chair if you'd like. Do what feels good to you. Listen to your body. If you're just starting out, you're a beginner, or maybe you are recovering from some kind of knee injury, certainly sit, stand back up. I like to do this during meetings sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk because it just feels good just to sit and stand, Get that blood flowing. We're almost there. Good job. All right, this time we're going to take it up a notch further. We're going to do a single leg squat. So there's all kinds of different options. If you struggle with balance a little bit like I do, you can hold on to the back of your chair. You can lift that inside knee. Maybe you put your toe on the ground, maybe just plant that toe on the ground, and you're going to do that squat again, but keep all your weight on this one leg. Maybe if you want to take it up a notch, you lift that knee, making sure you're sinking those hips back. You can also plant one foot into the seat of your chair. That's going to help you with balance. It's going to give you a nice stretch in that inner thigh. But again, shifting those hips back. And then finally, if you are advanced, you could do kind of a pistol squat. You bring that knee up, sit all the way down, and then drive through that foot. I am not a pro at those yet. I will be someday. So I think for me, I'm going to plant one foot into the seat of my chair. And I'm just going to practice that hip hinge. You listen to your body. We're going to go 30 seconds each side. Here we go. So sinking those hips back. Remember, we're not folding forward here. Chest up, core tight, spine neutral. Driving through that foot that's on the floor and really sinking those hips back. Now you may feel like you're already sweating. And that is okay. That's because our legs are such a big muscle group. Oftentimes our heart rate gets up even more when we do leg, more so than when we do upper body. And that is normal. That's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with burning a little fat. One more. Good. Let's take it to the other side. Plant one foot up or drive that knee up or maybe put that foot into the ground and do the same thing. Keep in mind that if you are a beginner and you're just learning the proper form, or maybe you are recovering from an injury or a surgery, just go down as far as your range of motion will allow. Maybe that's just a slight bend in your knee. That's okay. Again, this is all about listening to your body and just practicing and progressing each week a little bit further. Getting stronger and stronger as we go. Couple more. And time. Nice job. All right, now we're going to go into some single leg RDLs. If you've done any exos classes, you know that we do a lot of single leg RDLs, but there's all kinds of different options. Again, I'm that girl who always has a chair handy because I struggle with balance. So feel free to hold on to the back of your chair. We're going to plant our front foot into the ground. There's going to be a slight bend in that front knee. Shoulders squared, spine is neutral. We're going to make a capital T shape with our body. So making sure you're not rounding here, your back toe is facing the ground, and then you're going to drive that foot back forward. So it looks like this. If you'd like, maybe you are a pro, grab some dumbbells. Act like you're painting your shins on the way up. You could also plant that back foot on the ground in the staggered stance position, and you can just really practice working on that hip hinge and working on that straight spine. You're gonna feel it in your butt cheek any way you look at it. All right, we've got 30 seconds each side. Here we go. So I'm gonna make my capital T here. Again, you choose the tempo. If you're just starting out, maybe 2 or 3 just to get the correct form. If you're a pro, grab those dumbbells. Try to balance on that foot without holding on. We're keeping our shoulders back, keeping it nice and tight. Definitely feeling those hamstrings, feeling those butt cheeks. Keep it up. One more. Nice work. Let's take it to the other side. Same deal. Make that capital T. You may feel like you're a little bit more wobbly on one side than the other. Try putting one hand out to the side or both hands out to the side if you'd like. Sometimes that can help with balance, and it could also help keep that posture, keeping your shoulders back if you're having problems with that turtleback. Driving, planting and rooting that foot in through the ground. Firing up that other butt cheek. You're gonna feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings here too. One more. Nice job. All right. One more standing exercise. We're going to go into our split squats or our lunges. Again, lots of different options. I like to hold on to my chair. You can start with both feet together, shoulders back, core tight. Take a big step back, hover that back knee over the ground, making sure you're not folding forward. Always keeping that spine neutral, and then drive through that foot. You could also stay in this big split stance position, same shape with your body, hover that back knee over the floor and drive through that front foot. Our whole goal is just not to fold forward like this. You could also go forward and push through that foot. So all kinds of different options. You choose the resistance, you choose the tempo. Maybe you want that extra resistance. Maybe it feels really good on those butt cheeks. You can grab some dumbbells, maybe put a resistance band under your foot. Whatever you feel comfortable with. We're going to do 30 seconds each side. I'm going to stick to my reverse lunges here. And again, you choose the tempo. So if you want to get that heart rate up, you go a little faster. And really pushing through that heel. If you're just starting out, once again, maybe this far down. Maybe you stay in that split stance and you just practice pushing through that heel or practice keeping your core nice and tight. We always have options. And depending on where you are in your journey, once again, sound like a broken record, but listen to your body. It will tell you what to do. It gets mad at us every once in a while if we try to push a little bit too hard, but it also tells us if we're a little bit too lenient on ourselves. If it seems easy, make sure you're progressing. One more. Good. Take it to the other side, shoulders back, core tight. Here we go. Driving through that front foot, planting that foot through the ground, concentrating on that neutral spine. You're gonna feel those quads a little bit more on this one, but definitely your glutes. And again, heart rate's gonna come up. on all these lower body exercises. 2 more. Nice job. All right, we get to sit now. I'm going to show you from the side just because you get to see form a little bit better that way. We're going to start with some leg extensions, and maybe you've done this at the gym before in the circuit machines. Most gyms have a circuit machine leg extension available to you, and sometimes they have a lot of weight. Sometimes it's both legs, but today we're just going to do one leg at a time. So lengthen your spine here, because again, we want to work our core through all these exercises. You can sit at the edge of your chair, plant one foot on the ground. The other leg is going to keep flexed, and you're going to squeeze it, trying to keep it parallel to the floor, and then bring it back down. Try not to rest it on the floor. Maybe if you have some ankle weights, maybe not today, but in the future, you can wrap it around that ankle. It works the same way as a leg extension machine. So I'm not resting my thigh on the ground at all. I have it lifted up a little bit. And if you do that and try not to rest your foot on the ground, you're also going to feel not just your quads, but your hip flexors working just as well. So who says we need heavy weights here? This is a great exercise after recovering from knee surgery. It's going to strengthen those muscles all around your knees. And it's definitely a great way to help with your recovery, especially if you're not using any weights right off the bat. Couple more. Good. Yeah, I felt that. All right, same thing on the other side. Remember to keep that spine lengthened. Lift that knee, flex your foot, keep it off the ground, squeeze and release. Nice and easy. This is one that you don't want to do this. You don't want to just get sloppy and go for speed and fast, because you're not going to feel that muscle, that you're not going to feel that build and burn as much. Squeeze and release. If you catch yourself doing this, just like we usually do when we're sitting at our desks all day, remind yourself, lengthen, lengthen. Sit up nice and tall. Let's work those abs too today. Got a couple more here. Last one. Nice job. All right, now that was for the front of our thighs, right? Now we're going to focus on the back of our thighs, our hamstrings, a little bit of glutes here. I like to call this the bull charge. So you're going to dig your heel like a shovel into the floor, and you're just going to drag it like you're scooping ice cream. Probably going to have to move my mat a little bit here. So try that. Again, sitting up nice and tall, nice and easy, almost like you're a bull charging. You're digging that heel, pulling it back. You don't need heavy weights. And then you're kind of doing like a cyclical move, almost like a bicycle. You're wheeling that leg around, so you're going to get some nice knee mobility. Dig and drag here. You're feeling those hamstrings and those glutes. I love this exercise. It's so easy. This is another one sometimes I do just at my desk when my butt starts getting numb from sitting all day. Just feels really good to get that blood flowing. One more. Good. Take it to the other side. Extend, dig, scoop. Keeping that core tight, keeping it lengthened again. Keeping that foot flexed. You really want to burn out those hamstrings and glutes. You are digging and really scooping. Yep, I'm feeling it. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. 2 more. Good job. All right, back to our calves here. Couple different options when we do calf raises. You can actually stay seated, and you can just press those toes through the floor as hard as you can. You could also set some weight on top of your thighs. That's going to give you a little bit more resistance, or you can even just press down right above your knees. You want to avoid the knee joint, but just give yourself a little resistance as you do heel raises. You could also do a standing toe raise. So holding onto your chair, you go all the way up. And then the most advanced is to go onto a step, either a stair step or a aerobic step. And then you're gonna give yourself a lot of ankle mobility by bringing that heel down and back up. So we're gonna do 1 minute of this. I'm gonna sit and just press down on my legs here. Here we go. I think we sometimes forget about our calves because we do kind of work them all day long, walking, going up steps, things like that, but I think they're very important. So we need to not neglect them. Keep it up. Again, you choose the tempo here. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, on the floor we go. So we're gonna be laying down, but we're still gonna be using our chair. We're gonna start with the glute bridges. Couple different options here as well. You're lying all the way back. You're digging your heels into the floor like shovels. You're lifting and you're squeezing those butt cheeks. Maybe you're not at that point yet. Maybe you're recovering still. You're still new. You don't like the idea of getting on the floor at all. Just do the same thing in your chair. And you can dig again, just like you did that bowl. You're still going to feel those glutes. Maybe you go up a little higher and you do a little bit of a reverse tabletop. But just make sure you're digging those heels into the floor. If you want to progress, take it up a notch. You're going to dig your heels straight down into the seat of their chair. All right, so let's do this. Lift and squeeze. You pick your poison. And then come down nice and easy. Pretend like the floor is hot lava. You don't want to rest your butt on the floor at all. Keep that constant resistance. Lift and squeeze. Oh, hello glutes. Hello hamstrings. Give me one more. Nice work. Felt that. We're going to flip it over onto our side now. And we're going to work on some adductors, inner thighs. So you can use your chair once again. You can plant the seat of your chair, plant the inside of your foot into the seat of your chair. Other leg is going to lift and act like you're squishing the seat of your chair in between both feet. You can either be up on your forearm or down resting your head on your hand, but you're really going to start feeling that inner thigh. Squeeze it. Keep going. I'm going to show you a standing option. Maybe you, again, don't feel comfortable on the floor. Just like we did those hip swings, you can plant that foot into the seat of your chair, and you can just press down. Press. Again, I'm feeling that in my inner thigh. Pressing. You don't even have to push yourself off your chair. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Take it to the other side. Either standing or lying down, pressing the insoles of your foot into the chair. Other side, squish that seat. Lift and squeeze. Right there. Another one of those parts of our lower body that I think we sometimes forget about, those inner thighs. Remember Suzanne Summers, the old school, what was that called? I can't remember now. I was just a kid when she had it, the inner thigh squeezer. Yeah, that was actually a contraption that you could buy back in the day. Now look at this. We can do it without buying a tool. Lift and squeeze. We're almost there. One more. Awesome work. All right, I'm going to have y'all go ahead and stand back up. We're going to stretch, and we're going to use our chair once again. So we did a lot of thigh, a lot of hip flexor work. Use the back of your chair for a little support. Take that outside leg. Grab your toe if you can. Knees together, and then you're going to push your hip bones forward. Feel that beautiful stretch in your quads and your hip flexors. If it's a little hard, maybe if you are recovering from a knee surgery, you can't quite get that mobility, get that range of motion to get your toe, you can place the top of your foot on the seat of your chair. You can do that same stretch. Shift your hips forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch in those hip flexors. Take it to the other side. Same deal. Either place the top of your foot Or you can grab that toe if you can. Push it forward. Now we're going to go into a hamstring glute. We work those a lot too. A couple different options. Dig your heel onto the floor like a shovel. Shift your hips back. Feel that nice stretch. You can take it up a notch. Dig it into the seat of your chair and shift back. Maybe you still don't feel like standing yet. You're still seated. That is okay. You're just going to take both legs or one, dig them out, and then hinge forward. Making sure, again, you're not doing that turtle back, almost as if you're bringing your chest to your thighs. Go ahead and switch sides. Dig into the chair, dig into the heel, into the floor. Shift those hips back. Again, our whole goal here is to keep our spine neutral, keep it straight. Don't fold those shoulders forward, and bring your toe to your nose here. And then finally, we have our figure 4 stretch, one of my favorite stretches of all time. You could do it standing, holding onto that chair. Cross your ankle just above your knee and shift your hips back. You can hold onto that ankle. Or another option is to do it seated. Just cross that leg right on top. And that might be enough to open up those hips, open up those abductors and those glutes. But if you want to get deeper, you're going to fold forward. Oh man, that feels good, doesn't it? Another one you can do at your desk, in between meetings. Just to practice a little mobility, a little stretching. Other side, hold. All right, guys, thank you all for joining me. We are out of time. Here's your nutrition trivia question of the day. Which vegetable is highest in protein? Brussels sprouts, peas, or broccoli? Which do you think out of those are highest in protein? Yes, vegetables do have some protein in them. What do you think? You guys know your stuff. I saw it a few times on you. Thigh Master, thank you. That's what I was thinking. Suzanne Summers, thank you. Yes, it is in fact peas, guys. Nice work, of course. Pea protein. Thank you. Thank you all. Hope you enjoyed it. Next week is all about core. It's going to be a doozy. I think the last time I did an entire 30-minute core class, I couldn't sneeze or breathe. So we often don't do entire core classes. So I'm excited about that one. Join me next week. Glad you enjoyed it today. Have a great week, guys. Thank you. Miss the recording, please. Yes, absolutely. I will send, yes. Even though last week was a pretty bad picture, I do have the recording. So yes, I will send those over to you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a great day, guys. Thank you. See you next time. Thank you.